So I was grabbing the mail a few months ago and I was super surprised to see a little package from Teachable, the software that I use to host all of my online courses. And do you know what it was? It was this! A little plaque congratulating me on passing the $1 million mark in online course sales. So, what did it take to go from broker than a joke university student to running a little one-to-one web design side hustle to eventually bringing over $1 million in online sales in just a few short years? It's not actually as complicated as you think. It didn't take some super fancy website coding knowledge, crazy trending web design skills, or some hella expensive software to make it all happen. I didn't even study this in school. I legit got my master's in recreation and leisure, and yes, I swear that's a real thing. When I created my $1 million website sales strategy, I just stuck to the 4 simple steps that I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. But before we dive in, I should mention that your revenue potential relies on a bit more than just a good website strategy. If your income is directly tied to the hours that you're able to work in a day, say you offer one-to-one services, or you hand make all your products yourself, then you may need to look at ways to scale your business beyond just working more hours in order to reach your revenue goals. But no matter your current business model, this video will help you make sure that your website is set up to convert at the highest potential, making it the MVP of sales in your business. So, step number 1, turn your website into an email list building machine. How? By including calls to action to subscribe everywhere. But not just sign up for my newsletter. Nobody's gonna sign up for your newsletter. Make sure you give something of legit value away that you're willing to trade in exchange for that person's precious details. Take the time to design a killer freebie opt-in gift, something that solves an exact problem your ideal client is facing right now in their journey. This quick win you're offering will need to look different based on where exactly your ideal client is at. Based on your paid offering, does it make sense for you to attract people who are just getting started in your area of expertise? Or would you be better off making something that appeals to people who already know the basics and are looking to maybe level up? Know your ideal audience and what stage they're at in their journey is so important for nailing this freebie opt-in gift thing. If they can't see the benefit prior to signing up, they're probably not going to take the chance on your freebie, let alone whatever your paid offering is. Once your freebie is delivered, it needs to knock their socks off with how useful it is so that they will know everything you touch is gold. And when they need more solutions to similar problems down the road, you will be the first person who comes to mind. Now, this doesn't mean that it needs to be a bajillion pages long, by the way. The best freebies are short, effective, and visually on brand with everything else that you do in your business. If you need help designing your freebie and the landing page that you'll get people to sign up for it, then I have 2 blog posts that I think you'll find super helpful. The first one is 8 tips for designing and marketing your subscriber winning opt-in gift, and also how to create a high converting landing page for your list building freebie. I'll link both of those in the description below for you. Oh, and I also linked a few of my own freebies in the description in case seeing some examples would be helpful for you. Once you've created your freebie, shout out about that bad boy everywhere, and not just on social media 37 weeks ago. I include a call to action to subscribe on every single page or post on my site, sometimes in multiple places, and if I have a topic that I'm often creating content around that relates to my offering, but my current freebie doesn't seem to seamlessly fit with that content, or maybe doesn't seem like a logical next step, then I create a new freebie that does. But if this video is about making sales, why did I start by talking about giving something away for free? I'll let you in on a little secret. Customers may have clicked the book or buy now button on my website, but my email list is really where those sales went down. If someone visits my site, gets distracted, and leaves, they may never come back again, even if they truly need and want what I'm offering. So, having a way to reach back out to them and continue to build the know, like, and trust factor will go a long way when I go to actually pitch my paid offering. And just one thoughtful email sent to my list can result in tens of thousands of dollars in sales. Yes, it's true. Okay, so step number 1 was to take time to create a killer subscriber winning freebie and market it like crazy. So what is step number 2? Make your website your ideal client's happy place. Again, Knowing your ideal client inside and out is kind of everything to this step and all others. You don't just want a pretty website or a functioning website, you want a website where your ideal clients feel most heard and seen through your website copy. Who does your website talk about most? You and how great you are, or your ideal client and all the fears, emotions, and sticking points they're dealing with on the daily? Do you speak about their problems in a way they can actually relate to and using the same language that they would use when ranting about that problem to a trusted friend? Or does it feel like your copy came straight out of a super generic pamphlet? Another way to make your visitor feel seen and heard is to actually call them out by name. Hey girl, hey mama, hey procrastinator, hey introvert. Basically anything that helps them self-identify that they are in the right place and that you are speaking directly to them. Probably the most important place for your visitor to feel like they are being seen and heard is when you go to talk about the benefits of something that you have to offer. Listing off the features is great and all, but you want to speak to the transformation or support that person will experience when they say yes to working with you. Okay, an important bit, number 2, for making your website your ideal client's happy place is that they feel most at home in your choice of visual design. Do your colors, textures, fonts, and vibe fit with what they are constantly pinning on Pinterest, drooling over on their favorite Instagram accounts, or the aesthetic of their favorite shops and hangouts? Think about all the things your ideal client loves to surround themselves with, even if it's just virtually, and use that info to help inform your design decisions when you go to build your website. And point number 3 for making sure your site is your ideal client's happy place is that they feel most inspired and confident when visiting your site. Your visitors feel like they can truly kick ass because of the helpful content that you provide. And just like pinning on Pinterest, even if they never actually follow through on the hack that they're pinning, they feel empowered and equipped by having that knowledge. And because you were the one to make them feel that way, they now see you as the expert on that thing. Consistently creating helpful content is the surest way to empower your people, increase your site traffic, and to attract more of the people who are likely to be interested in buying your paid thing. It creates this super warm audience primed and ready to be pitched to instead of forking out huge amounts of moolah on ads and marketing your paid offering straight into a cold audience or people who don't really know or like or trust you yet. The other great thing about content marketing is that it's a much more organic place to plug your new list building freebie. People are a lot more likely to sign up for whatever's behind door number 1 if they see that your publicly posted content that you seem to have their best interest in mind and aren't just another spammy pammy out to get their email. And what about SEO? Well, it's definitely important. I'll admit I wasn't super thorough about checking off all the SEO boxes or doing any sort of intense SEO keyword research my first several years of content marketing and blogging. And yet, when you searched Squarespace on Google, I was one of the first results to show up after Squarespace themselves. By consistently creating long-form, legitimately useful content on my topic, I was naturally covering the most important keywords people would be searching for anyways. And because it was both long form and hella useful, it meant people were spending a lot more time on my website than if I was just pumping out fluff pieces that didn't really provide any actual answers. Google loves longer visit durations because it signals to them that your content is worth sticking around for and therefore sending new traffic to. So by making your site your ideal visitor's happy place, you are making it easier for Google to send lookalikes your way or people whose online behavior are similar to your ideal audience, and Google thinks could most benefit from what you could have to offer. If you could use a little encouragement on the content creation front, check out my blog post, 6 tips for creating consistent content in your online business. I'll also pop a link to that in the description below. Okay, now on to step number 3 of the $1 million website sales strategy. Make it stupid simple to book or buy from you. The last thing you want to do is to make visitors sift through 50 main navigation links to find what they're looking for. Keep your site menu super simple by including only your top 3 to 5 page links. The rest of those pages can be linked to from somewhere down the page or the footer or throughout the content on your website. Another major money blocker and time sucker I see often when it comes to setting up shop for your services or products online is the process of purchasing and paying for your thing has not been set up to run on autopilot. If your visitor has to call, email, or text you in order to be able to book or buy your thing, then you're losing out on sales. Say, I remember at 10 o'clock at night, I really needed a haircut tomorrow and forgot to call the salon that day when they were open. I visited their website, but unfortunately, there's no way to book an appointment online. I could just wait until when they open the next day and hope they have an opening, but I just want to get booked when I'm already thinking about this to do so I can go back to sleep. So unless I'm married to my hairstylist, I'm probably just gonna go look for another salon that does have a way to book online. The same thing goes for accepting payment. If your customer or client can't simply click a button from their phone and pay you right there and then, you're gonna have a lot of abandoned carts or spend a lot of time chasing down clients for lost checks, delayed e-transfers, and forgotten Venmo payments. And I can tell you from experience that hounding clients for money is not fun for either parties and doesn't usually lead to many 5-star reviews. So, these are just the top 2 mistakes I often see people making with their website. For a more in-depth look at website conversion best practices, you can also check out my post, How to Make Sure Your Squarespace Website is Set Up to Convert. Even if you're using a platform other than Squarespace, the steps in the post still really apply regardless, so I'll be sure to link that in the description for you as well. All right, and on to our final step, and that is to test everything. Test every last click on your client journey through your website and any other software you use to make sales happen in your business. Have your least techie friend or family member try to book a consultation call on your website or go through your checkout process or sign up for your freebie. And when you start automating these things, all it takes is for one broken link or confusing bit of copy to totally kill your conversion rates. Once you're sure everything is on point tech-wise, it's time to start testing out different copy, designs, and imagery, or even something as simple as different email subject lines throughout your subscriber or buyer journey. But before you can test anything, you have to have a way to measure the success of one tweak against the next, which means that A, you need to be recording your results consistently and measuring using the exact same time frame. Say every Tuesday you record the results for the past 7 days, and B, changing only one thing at a time and giving it time to play out before making more changes. This way, if you have a major dip or spike in subscriptions or sales, you'll have a better idea of what to attribute that change to. It's also a great way to help you make future design and copy decisions when you come up with new ideas you want to implement in your business, and to help curb the shiny object syndrome when you see other businesses trying new things and you feel like you need to jump on board. By faithfully testing and tracking everything you do in your business, you'll have a tried and true way for knowing what actually moves the needle and what has little or even negative impact on your sales. Every single business is different, and what appeals and works for your audience may be drastically different for what's currently sealing the deal with mine, which is why this final step is just as important as studying up on any website best practices. If you need help figuring out which website stats to be looking at, check out my video, The Top Success Metrics You Need to Be Tracking in Your Business. I'll also pop that in the description below. So those are the top 4 things to consider when coming up with your own winning website sales strategy. If you found this video helpful, please do be sure to give it a thumbs up to let me know. And if you're wondering what to watch next, here's some more videos for you too.